This episode of the Marketing That Works podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, period. Let me explain. It's what I make this podcast on. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm today to get started. I'm Drew Bedard, and this is Marketing That Works, a podcast about the tools, tips, and tactics that business owners and marketers need to wow their customers and grow their profits. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Marketing That Works podcast. I'm your host, Drew Bedard. Hope you're doing well today. If you would, please rate and review the show when you have time. And also, if you could share this podcast with one person today, that would mean the world to me. I'm going to sneeze. Nope, it's going away. There you go, everybody. It's authentic right there. I almost sneezed. I didn't. I'm okay. So, yeah, if you would share this episode with one person today talking about my sneeze, that would be fantastic. And hopefully you'll do it because it's related to the topic that we're going to talk about today, which is a new tactic that I learned called the Instagram unicorn post strategy. So I heard this from Nathan Chan, who's the founder of Founder. That sounds funny, but Founder Magazine, which is Foundr. Founder Magazine, great social accounts to follow, great magazine to follow. And what Nathan was talking about on one of his videos this week was this idea of the Instagram unicorn strategy. So unicorn post strategy to help with growth. Now, what that is, I'm going to get right into the meat of the content right here, right now, is basically what you're going to do is not only look at your own accounts, but what you want to do is you want to look at accounts that are very similar to you and then audit their page for the highest performing posts. Now, this sounds like the simplest idea in the world, but let me tell you, a lot of people are not doing this. A lot of people are not taking the time. They're looking at their own posts and maybe something close, maybe a couple of accounts that are close to them in industry, but most people are not looking at a lot of different accounts to find out what's working. So, like I'll give an example that I thought was really interesting. There is a marketing guru, a guy, great expert named Chris Do, who has an account, and he's part of this company called The Future, but great YouTube channel, great Instagram. But what he did is he talked about a couple of months ago or a few months back about this taking advantage, and I talked about this in a prior podcast about taking advantage of kind of new features that maybe Facebook or Instagram puts out. And one of them was that Instagram had increased their gallery posts, I think, from 3 to 10. So you could have 3, flippable posts on your native feed, and then they increased it to 10. So what they're doing by telling you that whenever Facebook and Instagram release a new feature, they want you to use it, and if you use it, they reward you for it by increasing your ranking within the algorithm. So that is a great way to see. That was what I was able to go back and see, is to say, okay, when he was doing the 10 gallery posts, those were unicorns for him. They stood out. He started to do them almost every single time, but it really stood out. And every time that he was posting those, they were going through the roof on both likes and comments and everything else. So again, with Instagram in particular, you're trying to grow your reach, you're trying to grow your account, because honestly, I mean, the holy grail right now in the world we live in 2020 is on Instagram. You're trying to get to 10,000 followers. If you can get to 10,000 followers, you get the swipe up ability in Instagram stories, which is really for marketers and for business people. That's the holy grail, because that's when you get the ability to make your Instagram more clickable. Even though there are, certain features that you can use the link, linkinbio.com. I think that's what it is, linkinbio.com, which takes all of your posts, and then you can attach a link to it. But it's a little complicated. The swipe up feature in Instagram Stories is fantastic. But so he was using that to teach people the 10 gallery posts, or the 10 post, or excuse me, the post with 10 gallery pieces in it. And that was a unicorn for him. So again, going back, actually, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to come right back, and we're going to talk more about Nathan Chan from Founder and his theory on the Instagram unicorn post. This episode of the Marketing That Works podcast is brought to you by Tresta. Tresta is an app for iPhone and Android that lets you do business calling and texting from anywhere with no hardware, just the smartphone you're already using. Tresta is the best business phone app on the market, whether you're freelancing, working remotely, or running a small business. Growing your network and your business is all about communication. You've got to be available no matter where you are, especially as marketers. Tresta offers the call management features that empower you to communicate smarter and more efficiently, like auto attendance, call recording, user groups, and more. Tresta is easy to configure so you can set up everything yourself, all online. Tresta's phone system makes it easier and more affordable to set up a fully functioning mobile office. It's just $15 per user per month with no contract, so you can start today with a free 30-day trial at Tresta.com/marketingworks. That's www.Tresta.com/marketingworks. Now, let's get back to the show. Okay, and we're back. Thanks for listening to that. So, talking about Nathan Chan and Founder and this idea of the Instagram unicorn post, and getting back into the theory again, is that most people look at maybe a few accounts around their industry, but what this is doing is it's essentially saying, let's take a deep dive in the industry, or in the area that we're trying to grow, and you want to audit people's accounts for the ones with the highest engagement, the highest likes, the highest comments, and that's what you want to make more of. I know this sounds super simplistic, but people aren't doing it. They're just kind of going about their business every single day. So the tip that I want you to take away from this, and the tactic that I want you to go try, is try to find today 5 to 10 Instagram accounts that are near you, are in an industry that's kind of near you or around you. Say you're a fitness instructor. Go find 10 great accounts that you can follow, but not just follow. Go to their account pages and audit their last, let's call it 20 posts, and try to find the unicorns in there. Try to find the ones that spiked their ability to grow with likes and comments, because when they got the likes and comments up, they got their follows up. So that's what I want to challenge you guys to do today. Go look at stuff that's around your industry, that's near what you're doing. Try to find 10 accounts, and then try to audit their Instagram pages for the unicorns. You also want to do this on your own page. You want to go back in time. If you're not doing this already, you should be doing it. You should be, if you have a business page on Instagram, you can look back in the analytics and you can see what pops. You can see what pops on both stories and on the native Instagram feed, and you can see what's working and what's not. And what I'm encouraging you to do today is, instead of just this sort of, willy-nilly Instagram strategy of like, let's just make sure that we have a post up, why not make them the best posts? Why not take and make an audit of all of these big accounts, or these good accounts? Why not do an audit of your own account? And why not commit to excellence and try to do the Instagram unicorn strategy for maybe 15 to 30 days, say a month. Try that out. See if you can exponentially grow your followers. The bonus tip I'll give today is make sure you use your hashtags. Make sure you use as many hashtags. I believe it's still 30 for Instagram. Use as many hashtags as you possibly can that are targeted at your industry, or targeted at the audience that you want to reach. So the two things today: audit 10 accounts for the Instagram unicorn strategy. Try to find the best posts, mimic those, try to commit to excellence for the next 30 days, and I think that you can see real growth in your Instagram account. And that bonus tip is use the hashtags. Don't be shy. Maybe even put them in the first comment on your posts, but use all 30. It helps with growth. If you're looking for Instagram growth, these are two tactics that will grow, guaranteed will grow your Instagram account in the next 30 days. Hope that was beneficial. Hope you're having a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and we'll see you next time on the Marketing That Works podcast.